10 Minutes Mastery.
Hey guys, welcome back to this 10 Minutes Mastery. Today we are going to travel back in time to one of the most emotional chapters of Indian history. This personality became the only Indian to hold a position that was earlier occupied by British officials. After independence, when India was still adjusting to its new identity, he took a charge of the highest constitutional office under the Dominion system. He was the last person to hold that position in Indian history. Who could be this? Watch it.
We must work tirelessly for the upliftment of the masses and the attainment of Swaraj. Our commitment to the cause must be absolute.
Vande Mataram! Vande Mataram! Vande Mataram!
I, C. Rajagopalachari, do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of Governor General.
C. Rajagopalachari, from freedom fighter to India's first liberal dissenter. Recently, President Draupadi Murmu replacing the statue of Edwin Lutyens to C. Rajagopalachari. This decision was taken by a Pradhan Mantri, and he also highlighted Rajaji's legacy of public service, self-restraint and independent thinking. So why this shift? This move symbolically honors Rajaji's political and moral influence, recognizing him as a mere of statements, but not only as a statement, but as a leader who viewed power as a responsibility rather than a privilege. So we'll also know about his early role in the freedom movement. In 1878, he was born in Tamil Nadu, a place called Thorapalli, and later he entered into a politics, that is in 1907, 1906 and 1907. He attended Calcutta and Surat session of INC, and that is his early engagement in the national movement. In 1911, he was elected as a Salem Municipal Council, and in 1916, later he joined to Annie Besant's of Home Rule League and he established as a Salem unit. Later in 1970, he became the chairman of Salem Municipal Council. Then in 1990, he moved to Madras for engaging in a public role to expand his role. And he also met a Mahatma Gandhi, and that becomes a turning point of his early engagement and involvement in the national movement. The later things after 1990, he was also an early participator in Rowlatt Satyagraha. And later in 1930, when Gandhi did a Dandi march in Gujarat, he also did a similar in Tamil Nadu. That is a place called from Trichy to Vedaranyam. And he was also giving up his successful legal practices and advocating a boycott of elections, institutions and titles. In 1942, Gandhi's call on Quit India movement, but Rajaji's stance was differed from him. So what is his stance? His stance is skeptical that slogan alone would remove the British. He advocated for negotiated settlement with the Muslim League to secure independence. That means he prioritized a practical outcomes over populist waves. So that is even different from the Gandhi's point of view. We'll also know what is this Rajaji's formula. That means Congress and Muslim League agreement. So this is called also known as a Rajaji's formula. So what is this provision of this? It means a Congress and Muslim League would cooperate to join a provisional government. Okay, that means a Congress would accept a post-independence plebiscite in the Muslim majority districts of North, West and East. In 1944, that means it is a mutual agreement on defense, commerce and communication. He proposed to this Gandhi. Gandhi accepted it, but Muhammad Ali Jinnah rejected it. And he also argued that proposed Pakistan was smaller than the demanded. We'll also know his Hindi agitation, that is on Hindi policies. In 1938, he introduced a compulsory Hindi language in Madras, especially class 6 to 8, because he thought student wouldn't fail for the poor performance. Okay, so that move triggered a widespread protest. So during the 1965 anti-Hindi agitation, he strongly opposed making Hindi as a sole official language. So which means he criticized imposition by a majority force. He says that English is a neutral language. Okay, so his objective was to coercion, not the language. We'll also discuss about the social reforms, that is temple entry. Rajaji supported MC Raja's bill on social discrimination, the discrimination on job, education and public access. So he also enables temples to be opened for Dalits by approval, that means by majority approval. Initially, Rajaji limited the temple entry measures to a Malabar district to avoid any provocation. Okay, and later the trustees of Meenakshi temple in Madurai, they have showed a willingness to admit Dalits. Okay, but feared legal liabilities for admitting these Dalits. Later, Rajaji promised this protective legislations. So, Rajaji enacted the Temple Entry Authorization and Indemnity Bill in 1938. So, this will protect the officials who permitted the entry. Okay. Later, in several temples of Tanjore and other regions also opened the doors to Dalits. This Rajaji's codes at sacred test are like an infinite ocean. One can draw either wisdom or prejudice. Now, in 1950s, he was a home minister under the Jawaharlal Nehru, and that Rajaji grew a critical of the Congress party. Okay, to help to build. That means he argued that democracy needs a strong opposition to act as a brake on excessive state control. So he started a party called Swatantra Party in 1959. So this Swatantra Party championed in free enterprises, that is rejected unregulated laissez-faire and supported markets. And Rajaji opposed this Soviet planning. Okay, which means a role of a state should be a guidance, not a ownership. Okay, so even though it was promoting economic principles, this party was dismissed by Nehru as a party of lords, castles and zamindars. We'll also know this bridging empire of Rajaji's. That means in 1937, he was a premier of Madras under the Government of India Act 1935. And in 1948 to 50, as I said, the only Indian to ever hold this post. Okay, that is the Governor General, succeeding Lord Mountbatten. And in 1950 to 51, he was Union Home Minister, succeeding of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and 1952 to 54, he was the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Let us also know one interesting fact about that. He was a great storyteller of India, which means he made the ancient epics accessible to the common man in plain Tamil and English. That means he is one of the most widely retelling Indians epics. Okay, that means the mostly theme will be based on like Ramayana and Mahabharata. So this is the life of Rajaji, that is a freedom fighter to a dissenter. I'll give you one more fact that he was awarded as a Bharat Ratna in 1954, and in 1974 Rajaji passed away and leaving a legacy of intellect, courage and wisdom to prioritize the nation over the party? Yes, this is a prelims question. I want all of you to attend this question in the given time. Yes, that's it for today's episode. So I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, study well, all the best, and wishing you a very advanced happy Holi. Thank you.
10 minutes mastery.